Hey guys, it's me, it's Pilot in Command here. As promised, I'm going to do a video today about the first frame that Robinson Hobbies is selling. This is the AdaptX frame. It is a 3-inch quad, in other words, spent propellers that are 3 inches in diameter. First, I want to talk about just what inspired me to make this frame, and then I'll talk about like specs and features and all that good stuff. So if you don't want to hear the backstory of how this frame came to be, I will put a timestamp right here. So skip forward to this timestamp right here, and you'll get to the stuff, you'll get to the specs and features and all that. So what is this thing? How did this thing come to be? Why should anybody care? So this frame originally started, I think it was probably about 2 years ago now. I set out to solve the problems of the Tiny Trainer V2. So, bit of context. The Tiny Trainer frame, the original V1, is arguably my most favorite drone of all time up until, this little thing came along. When that frame came out in spring of 2020, I was looking at getting a 3-inch frame, and when I saw Sean Ames' original Tiny Trainer video, I was like, that's the frame, that's the 3-inch frame that I want. I really wanted one. I pre-ordered it as soon as I was able to. I built it, I started flying it, and I just really liked that frame. I loved the way that it flew. And then that was also the first year that we did the Tiny Trainer Winter Series here in St. Louis, and Tiny Trainer racing became my favorite class to race in. Bar none, there is no comparison. I've gone to as many Tiny Trainer races as I possibly can. I really like the way this class of drone handles. The events were super fun, just kind of the mini DRL kind of spec style races. It was great, loved it. But the Tiny Trainer V1 was not without its flaws. Its biggest flaw, in my opinion, was the lack of removable arms. And then when 5-3 amounts, there was a V2 coming out, I got super duper duper excited because it was like everything I loved about the V1. They have removable arms, and there was even a way to get at the USB plug without having to remove the canopy. Because the Tiny Trainer V1 came with this really cool looking DRL canopy, and one of the problems is that most all-in-ones is that it has the USB plug on the sides. So in order to get at your USB to change your tune, you had to like cut zip ties and take this thing off, and it was a bit of a pain in the butt. So the V2 came out, and I was disappointed, needless to say. So what are the problems with the Tiny Trainer V2? There are a few problems. The way the removable arms work, and the canopy, how that all works together. Those are kind of the two main gripes. The canopy's kind of like two parts, but let's start with the removable arms. The way that the arms like key into each other, in a hard crash, I would see people like go and get their drone, and one of the arms was like bent backwards slightly. It's like the arm didn't break, but it was like just the way those arms mounted together, it was really flimsy. In a hard crash, some of the carbon pieces inside the frame would break, and the arms would just be moving freely, and it's like, well, this kind of sucks. So did not have a durable arm design, and also another huge, equally big gripe was the canopy design of that frame. The Tiny Trainer V2, the camera mount is built into the canopy. So if you break the plastic canopy, if you break the camera mount, you can't just go in 3D print another one. On the Tiny Trainer V1, one of the things I really liked about it was the canopy and the camera mount here was a separate piece. This camera mount, like on the AdaptX, is 3D printed TPU. So if your camera mount ever broke, you could either just buy a new 3D printed canopy, or if you had a 3D printer, you could 3D print one yourself. But with the Tiny Trainer V2, you couldn't do that because it was all of one integrated piece of plastic. Another thing that the Tiny Trainer V2 tried to do was give people easier access to the USB plug by having a clamshell type canopy. So it's just the front of the canopy pivots around 2 screws and a standoff, and then you can open it up and get it all your electronics. But there's a problem, and that is how the canopy locks in place. It's 2 screws in the back, located right about here where my thumb and index finger are, and the screws were blocked by the arms. So you had a really hard time tightening down the screws that held the canopy in place. And those screws were friction fit for that canopy. So what that means is that in a hard enough crash, the canopy would go like, it would pop forward and you'd be staring at the ground. And I've saw plenty of instances where pilots, they'd be having an amazing run, and then they would inevitably crash hard enough, and then they go to turtle mode, back on upright and keep on flying, and all of a sudden they couldn't because their camera was looking straight at the ground because those friction screws had like come loose. And I'm just like, this is not great. So to this day, I do not own a Tiny Trainer V2, and I was like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, I want to like this frame, but I cannot get past the glaring issues of it. But I'm like, well, hey, wait a second. I know how to do CAD drawings on my computer. And I discovered a company, the CNC Madness, that specializes in small prototypes, like cutting, small prototype batches. So I'm like, I think I can make something better. So I did. So that led eventually to the prototype. This is a prototype frame that I have, and as you can see on the prototype, I designed it in such a way where the original Tiny Trainer V1 canopy can just bolt straight on, and then this battery pad pouch on here just kind of just clips in place. I'll talk more about this later. But then recently, when my wife and I were talking about starting Robinson Hobbies, I was like, wait a second. For a top plate, why couldn't I take this battery pad, this battery pouch underneath here, and then just clip it to the top plate and turn this into a freestyle frame as well? Because part of the thing about a Tiny Trainer is that it's a Squish-X design, and most freestyle frames are Squish-X. So that's why the AdaptX is kind of a hybrid design. It's designed to be flown in 2 different configurations based on the pilot's preference. You can fly it in its freestyle configuration like this, with your camera angle sitting right at 30 degrees, but then say you want to go flying with your friends, and say like you wanted to go to a Tiny Trainer spec race, or maybe you just want to set up some gates in your backyard and practice, flying through, race gates or something. Or maybe some friends of yours are going out to your local flying field, and there's going to be gates set up, and you want to try, flying through gates for the first time. Well, you can take the same battery, holder here, unclip it, undo these 2 screws in the back, and it will clip to the bottom of the frame here. Because as you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but there's 2 little clips, here and here, for this battery pad to clip into. So that's why this frame is called the AdaptX, because again, it adapts to what you, the pilot, want to do. So the problem that this frame solves is it solves all the problems that I found with the Tiny Trainer V2, but it also allows people to have a freestyle setup and a racing setup all in one build. So let's start with the arms and kind of work our way in. So as I stated before, this frame does come with removable arms. The mounting system is my design, and the geometry is the same geometry as a Tiny Trainer V1 because, again, I designed this frame to compete in Tiny Trainer spec racing. So I wanted this thing to be spec legal, which it is. You can get it up to the 160 gram, 170 gram weight limit, and that's also an advantage with freestyle because this is a slightly heavier 3-inch rig. When you're flying it in the freestyle configuration, you are able to kind of throw it around and like make the drum like arc over obstacles like you would a 5-inch quad. The arms themselves, these are 3mm thick arms, so plenty durable. As you can see, there is absolutely zero flex in how these arms mount together. The frame, this is a 1.5mm bottom plate and then a 2mm sandwich plate. I went with 1.5 to kind of save on weight. But as you can see, there is not a lot of flex in this frame whatsoever. It's just, to remove an arm, it is just, you take out this M3 screw here, there's one in the center, and then you take out one of these M2 screws, the arm will slip right out and you slot a new one in and you're good to go. For the flight controller, it's just your standard Whoop style all-in-one board, so it's 25 by 25 mounting. I didn't include them in this little this demo build here, but there are 4 M2 by 16mm countersunk screws that will again just feed up through all 4 corners or all in a diamond configuration. Your flight controller sits right on top and you'll be good to go. And this thing is set up for both analog and digital builds. This one, like I said, this is one of my prototypes. As you can see, it is able to fit this particular one has the HD0 Halo. No, sorry. This build in particular has the HD0 Gamma all-in-one with a Whoop light VTX just bolted right on top. One of the things it comes with this. Let me get it. So each frame comes with this little sled right here. So you've got your standard mounting for just your regular whip style antenna, and then this is a little optional piece. So if you're running analog, you would put your VTX up top, and then whatever receiver you want right here on the bottom. But again, you don't need this. So if you're running this in an HD configuration, you can cut this off and just get away with this, and then you're left with just your antenna mount here. As far as cameras go, the camera mount is adjustable from 30 degrees to 50 degrees. So 30 degrees is for freestyle, 50 degrees is for racing. It is designed around the HD0 Nano 90 V2 and the Foxeer Predator Nano V5, because those are the 2 cameras that I primarily fly with this rig. If you are a walk snail owner, that camera should drop right in, that VTX should bolt on, you should be fine. If you are a DJI owner, this camera mount currently does not have the mounting holes for the DJI 04, the smaller camera, not the Pro one. The reason for that being is because at the time of recording, there's some new like 04 wide camera angle mods that are being sold or is being included now. Just like, I don't know, I'm waiting for that stuff to finalize, but eventually I will have a camera mount that will accept DJI on this thing. But if you're running analog, HD0 or walk snail, everything should drop right in and we'll be good to go. 3D prints, I will leave a link down in the video description. It's also on our website to our Thingiverse, where you can download the STL files so you can print these yourself if you so choose, or you need replacements. The little battery holder here is designed around 550 milliamp hour 3S packs. If y'all want to run 4S, what you can do is actually, you can just get like a little battery strap like this one from Pyrodrone, and there is a slot on the bottom where it feeds right through, and you can run a battery strap on the bottom as well as on the top if you so choose. Now, if customers want a quick kind of battery holder solution for a 4S style pack, I am more than happy to design it. Just reach out to us on Facebook or in the comment section below. If enough people want it, I will make it. But as of right now, if you want to go bigger in battery size, you'll have to supply your own battery strap right here. The screw holes for that mount to the top plate will line up with the Tiny Trainer V1 canopy. Robinson Hobbies does not sell this canopy. You can actually pick this up at 533's online store. I think also Pyrodrone and Race Day Quads sell this little canopy along with like a few other vendors, and you should totally go out and buy this canopy from 533 because I know Armando, I know Evan, they're both great guys. I really enjoyed going to events with them, and I also want to support their business as well. So this is an optional extra. This canopy is not required for this drone. This is just like an optional extra, like if you want to just add a bit of just a bit of bling to your drone. I really like running my drones with these canopies. I think it looks really cool, especially when you put LEDs in them. So yeah, this is just a nice little optional extra that I just decided to make this thing compatible with. So if you, the pilot, so choose, you can go out and buy this. You can go out and support another amazing company. So that's about it in terms of overview. I will leave a link in the video description to this frame, like where you can pick it up. I really enjoy going out and flying this thing. Like this is like my obviously I'm a little biased because I'm the one who helped design it. Yeah, I really enjoy this frame. I really enjoy the way this thing flies. I will be making a build video going over how you assemble this thing. I'll talk about it more in the build video. There's one other cool little surprise that this drone comes with. That's going to do it for me. Thank you very much for your time. I really hope y'all enjoy this frame as much as I do. And yeah. Look, if you guys, anybody who who buys one of these and has some flight footage, post it down in the comments or post it to our Facebook page. I would really like to see it. So yeah. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me for now. Thank you very much. Yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.